Hello, it is Monday and it is a new weekly reading vlog. Yes, it is Monday. It is a new week. I've still not heard anything about my surgery. I'll try not to go on about my surgery too much, but it is sitting like forefront in my mind. So yeah, I will just be sort of clinging on until I get a letter through with my date, and then clinging on until the date because I literally have an open wound, basically. So I'm just chilling. I've only got 2 more doses of antibiotics to take. Got tonight's one and tomorrow morning's one, and that's me done with my antibiotics. And honestly, it doesn't feel that much better, which is amazing. But yeah, on to the reading part of this reading vlog. I finished my book yesterday that I was reading, obviously. So, I just felt like something warm, and then I forgot that I'd put the heated blanket on because I cannot get warm. I've eaten something, so like normally when I eat, it's like all the blood goes to my stomach, and I just can't get warm. So yeah, I'm in that situation right now. So based on what I've been doing with my TBR, my next read should be Red Side Story because that is the next longest book on my TBR. Because I've been going sort of like from longest to shortest, so that I'm not left with like, I have a habit of reading all the short books and then getting to the end of the month and being like, oh crap, I've got all these long books to read. Whereas at least this time it'll be like, oh, it's only like, tiny, tiddly books to read or whatever. But the next longest is Red Side Story, which I do have on my Kindle as well. So yeah, I've even got it up, look at that. So technically this should be my next one. I did I want to get the new Shades of Grey? See, I didn't see that. This has got Shades of Grey is the first book, and then Red Side Story is the second book, but I've got a different edition of Shades of Grey because I've got the older edition. And this has only been released in this edition. Anyway, yeah, I bought this on 99p because, like I say, I've got the paperback of the first book, and I didn't want to get the hardback because I don't want mismatching sets. Although now they are mismatching, but not in a way that's really. It doesn't matter. Like, obviously, if there was more in the series, and they're all going to be in this edition, but I think it's just the duology. I'm not sure. We'll find out when I read it, won't we? So yeah, Red Side Story is a follow-up to Shades of Grey, which is about this world where people are separated into colours. And I don't mean like it's like a choice that's made. I mean, literally, you are born that colour, and there's something with your eyes where you can only see in shades of that colour. So, for example, a green can only see shades of green, blues can only see shades of blue, violets can only see shades of purple, reds can only see shades of red. Expand out to colours. And we follow a guy who is a red, and reds are not that high up on, like, there's a hierarchy based on your colour, and reds are kind of mid to low on this pecking order, but the greys, who are people who can only see in shades of grey, are at the lowest of the low. They're not even really considered citizens. And he meets this woman named Jane, who is a grey, and she kind of causes his life to spiral out when he finds out that life is not exactly how he thinks it is, that the government and the powers that be have been lying to him. Shocking, I know. And they decide to dig a little bit deeper and get themselves into trouble in the process. Now, in saying that, this world is so weird. It is a weird book, I'm not going to lie. Even within, like, I forgot to say, even within the shades, even within, like, the colours, there are still ranks. So, like, the more shades of the colour you can see, so, like, somebody might only be able to see one kind of red, but the more shades you can see, the more important you are. It's such a weird hierarchical structure based on, like, biology, which is a weird thing. But yeah, this ends with, the first one ends with him realising that there's a lot more about the world that he just doesn't understand. And I don't think I need to reread that. It's weird enough that it's stuck in my head. So I think I can go straight into this. But this is technically what I should be reading next. However, it is a complicated, like, twisty, sci-fi fantasy type book, so I don't know if I'm in the mindset for that. What I've been thinking about reading is this, which is not even on my TBR, technically. It's just I try and add a couple of rereads into my TBR every month, and this is a series that I am currently rereading, and this is Dead as a Doornail, which is book 5, 6, somewhere in that region. 5. Book 5 in the Southern Vampire Mysteries, also known as the Suki Stackhouse series, also known as the True Blood series. This is what True Blood is, the TV series is based on. And in this one, we kind of take a shift. That I didn't mean to say that. Take a pivot to the shifter world. So in True Blood, not only do vampires exist, but shifters also exist. So shifters are, you can be a shifter who can turn into multiple things. You can be a were, capital W were are the wolves. Small W were are shifters who shift into just one animal. So like you could be a were lynx, a were panther, a were goat? Question mark? Never seen a were goat. There are different weres in this world and different shifters. And so this kind of follows more of the shifter. You start to get more into the shifter side of things. There is actually part of the series that takes place. There's like a before and after Katrina incident, and like one of the books is before and one of them is after, and I love the way that she deals with New Orleans as a place, because you get to see the before. Now that these were written before Katrina, so like it is a reaction to what's actually happened. And so the first book where you go to New Orleans and you get to see this beautiful, lively place, like the kind of touristy, and busy place that it is. And then post Katrina, there's a lot with the devastation, and how it's affected people, and the damage that's been done, and all the repairs that are needing done, and the things like that. I love it. I don't know why. I love disaster things. Obviously, not in real life. Would have been much happier if Katrina had never happened. I definitely would have been much happier if Katrina had never happened. But there's something about disasters in fiction that I really enjoy, which is probably why I enjoy Grey's Anatomy. I've been rewatching Grey's Anatomy as well. So not rewatching. I'm past my rewatch. I'm now on to season 19. So yeah, I am. Apparently, I like disaster in fiction. I wonder what that says about me. But yeah, this follows Suki as she's kind of getting to know more of the shifter side of things, and I believe this is the one where shifters are starting to be killed. That's why it's I didn't see that until now. It's a sniper rifle in the blood, and I think someone's coming after the shifters, and Suki has to help. I do, however, have another book that I would quite like to read, and that's Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope. This is a fun cowboy romance, and again, I think it's only 10 pages shorter than this, so it is again one of the longer books on my TBR. But this is like a fun cowboy romance. I think it's going to be sweet. I think it is going to be a little bit darker based on the themes that are in this book. So she's getting out of a violent relationship, and he's coming back after having issues with something. So I'm stuck between like these 3 books. I don't really know what to read. I think because I've got Red Side Story on my Kindle, while I'm feeling up to picking up a physical copy of a book, I will read one of these 2, but we'll decide later what I'm going to read, and I will update you. This feels like a wasted opening, to be perfectly honest, but yeah, I will speak to you later. Hello, it is Tuesday. Is it only Tuesday? It's only Tuesday. It's 10:15. I've come upstairs to read for a bit because I just need to be somewhere different. My legs really hurt, so being in bed's going to help. I don't know if it's the mattress, if it's the change of position, if it's the fact that I have to get up and walk up here. But my legs feel better if I come to bed. And it means I can like shift about a bit more, I think. Yeah, my right hip and knee have been giving me absolute jip over the past few days, and it's causing my leg to go like numb, that sore numb way. As you can tell, I had my hair up in the claw clip, so it's a bit frizzled. I wouldn't call it curly, but like you know, where it picks up a little bit of the, because I twist it to put it up, but my hair doesn't really stay curly, so yeah, I don't know why I'm telling you about that, I find it interesting. Yeah, I'm going to read some more of Dead as a Doornail. I'm now 192 pages in, so I've got just over 100 pages. It's 295 pages, I believe. Yes, it's 295 pages, so I've got just over 100 pages left. I don't think I'm getting this finished, but I do want to read a little bit more. I have to say, this is, I don't know if it's this one or the next one that's just not really my favourite, which is funny because the one before this is my favourite in the series, where we get Amnesia Eric, whereas this one we're dealing a lot more with the shifters, and the story so far is fine, but there's a political thing that happens within the shifter world, specifically with the wearers, that I don't like. Not that I don't like the process, like the politics is their politics, but in relation to the characters that we know, I don't like how it goes down. I just don't like it. So yeah, it's just not my favourite thing. So yeah, I was like looking behind me, I was like, what is that? It's the laundry basket. Because I'm in my bedroom again, obviously. Anyway, I'm going to go because my arm is getting really sore holding the phone up, and I want to get to reading. Gym day tomorrow, and I need to get back to it. I said to Kay, I was like, make me go to the gym tomorrow, because I missed the gym last week, because I had the infection. But I want to get back to it, because I don't want it to be one of those things where I stop and then I just don't bother going back. Yeah, I want to actually make progress at the gym, so to do that I need to go to the gym. And for some reason my nose is running like mad. Like I feel not congested, but like just a little bit congested and like sniffy, and I don't know what's going on. So that's fun. Hello, I have a mullet, apparently. This is not on purpose, but this is because I had my hair back in a hair bubble to go to the gym. As you can see, I've been watching Grey's. I wanted to change up the angle a bit so I could get Hamish in. He's napping. I'm just going to go to bed and shower in the morning, because I already need to change. The bed needs to get changed anyway, so what's the one night? Just sleeping all sweaty and stuff. I did finish, let me see. I did finish Dead as a Doornail. I just had 30 odd, I read some after I got home from work, and I just had like 30 odd pages to go, so I ended up finishing it, and I really look like I have a mullet, which, you know, will we get Hamish in? Yes, I finished Dead as a Doornail. It is, I think I said the 5th book in this series, and yeah, this is my least favourite one because of what happens in it. It's still a good story, but there's like one thing that happens that overshadows the whole thing, and the next book we're getting into some of my favourites again. We've just been introduced to one of my favourite characters in the whole series, and he's in the next few books, so I am excited. I am sad how the story went with him. Like, it's not my favourite through line of a story, not my favourite arc of a story, but I really, really like this character. I'm sorry, I want you to hear, he's like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? But yes, I'm going to go to bed, get up early, shower, hopefully not have the issue I had last night, which was a flare-up of gastritis, which meant I had to sit up and cling to a bowl and try not to be sick last night, because my stomach tried to come out of my throat. And I don't mean that in the sense of like, oh, I was going to be sick. Like, yes, I was going to be sick, but like the stomach acid was just burning. I had some Rennies, it really helped. I managed to get back to sleep, but I did not sleep well. So yeah, I'm going to go to bed. I think I've said that how many times now, but me and my mullet will see you later. Hello, I am obviously in my library, and I'm having a little bit of a dilemma. So I'm out of room. I am basically out of room for books. I have like, I don't know if you can see down here, like books just sitting like this, books here. I've got these books here, and don't even talk to me about my DNF. This is the unhaul pile. I've got stuff. Let me just show you from here. I've got romance novels just stacking up. And yes, I've got room in there, but that's recently created from unhauling. I also have over here this shelf here, which I think there's some room in there, but I'm going to have to check. I think that's just going to be, like, I've been lazy and just put my Dan Brown book there, because my Dan Browns are there. That's all my Cassie Clare stuff. But I think I don't want to use this top here, because that's the window. And it just feels like it's going to attract, like, damp, even though I don't see why it should. I think we're going to have to maybe do something about the historical fiction. So don't even talk to me about this. This needs sorted out. This cupboard needs emptied and proper storage sorted, and these chairs and stuff need to be sorted out. But I've got books everywhere, and I think I'm actually going to have to see, this is part of the problem. So I think I'm going to have to start using this, because over here I've been using the tops of these. So this is all my Scarpetta British Cornwall stuff. This is all Schwab. This is all of my comics and graphic novels that are not Heartstopper, which is over here. I could probably use some of the room on the Heartstopper shelf for stuff that's not Heartstopper. But I'm not entirely sure. And then there's just a mess. I'm not entirely sure what to put, because I've got, like, just to do a quick whip round. So we've got this and this are the same series. The books that are missing here, Vicky has those. And it is one of my favourite series ever. It's the Lindsay Sands Arjanu series. And then we've got my copies of Frankenstein, which I can certainly probably do something with that. This is going to be my fourth wing shelf. Vicky has those books. And then down at the bottom, I have, like, these books are all to go back to Vicky and Bobby. This is kind of like paranormal romance, which I took off my romance shelf to give myself more room. See how that went? To kind of put it beside the fantasy because it's paranormal. And then this down here again is more like paranormal. It's like Miss Peregrine and S.T. Gibson, the Dowry books. And then we've got Schwab up there. And then this is generally just like fantasy. And then we've got some fantasy, sci-fi, what they call it, special editions. And then again, just more fantasy, and more fantasy. It says the girl who says she doesn't read fantasy. But yeah, you'll see, like, I'm not excusing myself. This top one is all my Patricia Cornwells. And then we've got my sci-fi shelf, like purely hard sci-fi shelf. And then we've got a witchy shelf. Plus these two, which could probably go on the historical shelf, to be fair. And then we've got a Heartstopper shelf, my Percy Jackson shelf, second Percy Jackson shelf. And that's all Rick Riordan. And then another general shelf at the bottom. I think I'm going to have to unhaul. I think I'm going to have to be realistic with myself and unhaul some books. Then we've got my Hunger Games shelf, and then this is, again, more special editions, and then my Secret Garden shelf, and then this is... Oh, I'm going to sit down and show you more. So then there's this one's got my Red Queen stuff, and the... I can't remember, Glittering Court. I can't remember what the series is called. And then this is like, these two are like childhood, because they're down here. These two are like childhood things. So like I've got all of my old Narnias, which again I could put over with my other Narnia. I've got the horror novel, the point horror novels that I used to read in high school. I've got my copy of Lord of the Rings over here. Some poetry, which again, so it's just basically stuff that I don't reach for because, well, it's hard to access. So I'm thinking, like, do I do something about the access? Do I move my desk? Like, do we move the desk out a little bit? That's what I'm wondering. And then obviously I've got my TBR cart behind me, which has it's like 20, there'll be like 24-ish books out there, because the other ones are downstairs. And that's not even the worst. That's not even the worst thing. Come with me. So we are no longer in the library. That's the library there. I also need to get rid of all this junk. This is the set that has been damaged before I even got it, to be fair. But if we pan over here, underneath the fish tank, this is all of my non-fiction. It's not even in the library. I've had to move my non-fiction out of the library so I can fit it all in, and now it's overstuffed. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. I do have one of these units. Well, I think this is the Argos one. I've got the Kallax IKEA one. We've got a 4x4 in the bedroom, so I might move some books into there. Maybe like move some books that I don't know, or maybe some of the stuff that's stored on top of the bookshelves, I can move them to there, move stuff up. I don't know. The only problem is, again, wait a second. Okay, so here's a demonstration. Part of the problem is that, so this is me against the bookshelf. This is as far up as I can reach on the bookshelf without a step. So anything I put up on top of that one, like my British caramels, I'm not going to reach for them like normally. I will read it as they come out and put them up, and if I do want to, I can like, it's easy enough to, I've got steps over there, you know. Same with my Schwab. We did the Schwab along and then I put everything up there because they're freshly read. I like, because this is like my filming angle, I like having my favourites behind me. So that's why they're there. And I like having my romances all in one place. So yeah, I just need to figure out what I'm doing. I don't help myself though, because I do have plenty of duplicates. Like I've got duplicates of Hannah Grace's series, which I can make room for. I've got an Elsie Silver shelf with all duplicates of every series. Let me show you. So these are my romance shelves. So as you can see, I've got duplicates here because I've got the indie editions. I've got books that will be going in there because I need to read them. And again, that is new space that I've just created. This is my Hannah Grace shelf, which has duplicates, but I can probably move them along since that is confirmed finished. This is my Chloe Lease section that I can budge up beside my Ali Hazelwood section, which, yeah, she writes enough that I'm going to have to shift that as well. This is my Elsie Silver shelf. As you can see, I've got 2 editions of the Gold Rush Ranch series, and then I've got 2 of the Chestnut Springs, and I've got 2 of the Rose Hill series. So yeah, that's a full duplicate shelf. Full duplicate shelf again of my Emily Rath ones. I do need to get this edition of Plucking Strong. The reason I normally would just keep these editions, but I have a personalised and signed edition of Packing Around. I think, is Papa Mild signed? Yes. So my first 2 in this edition are signed and dedicated because I met her before these were even announced, and now you can't really get, like, you can see the difference. So this is like slightly different, but it's got the same style, so I like to collect them. And then these are the not novellas, like short story collections, which are in that style, so I like to have both. Is it practical? Absolutely not. Yeah, so like I need my Windy City series needs somewhere to go. I need to fit these in beside their friends. So yeah, I just need a lot of work. I can't even get in to this shelf. So it's got my Outlander, my classics, and then Kate Moss shelf, which again I could probably reduce. I then have, just by like turning this in, and I've got 2 editions of the same book, which I don't really need, but one of them was, like, you can see the one that's turned out says signed copy, and then this one is the one I got her to sign and personalise, because the other one hadn't come in by the time I went to see her, so a book was part of the ticket, so I just got that one signed, with the intention of selling this one, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Yeah, I just need to, I literally can't even get in here, which is partly why I need to clear this cupboard out. But like, it's got my ink for my printer, and then just boxes. This box should be in that cupboard, but I took it out because I needed stuff. But yeah, this is just, that's another tripod down there, but just a little one. So yeah, I need to get in. I'm not even starting on K's because there's a unit in there that needs to go somewhere and I don't even know where to put it. So first things first, I genuinely think I need to go shelf by shelf and do an unhaul. So that might be what I do first and see where we go from there. Okay, update on the office. Kay kindly came up and helped me do things that I can't really do, and now we're just organising. So all my stuff's now behind here. My unhaul piles are huge. This chair's now in there. The chair that was in there is now in that cupboard, which is now empty. Well, empty of the stuff that was in there that didn't need to be in there. This is now empty. And this is now clear. Amazing. Hello, it is Friday, finally. And, nope, that's the wrong light. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I'm getting ready to go to bed. I forgot to vlog basically all day. Me and Hamish are getting ready to go to bed. Aren't we, Hamish? Ignore the clean washing that needs to go upstairs. I did get some book mail today that I had to go pick up, and that was A Girl Goddess Queen. I finally found the hardback on Vinted for a £5. What is this angle? I finally found the hardback on Vinted for a £5 in really good condition. So now I have all 3 hardbacks. I have also got the paperbacks, so I can't decide if I'll keep the paperbacks or not. We shall see. But yes, Girl Goddess Queen by B. Fitzgerald is a Hades and Persephone retelling, and it runs off the idea of, what if Persephone wasn't taken to hell? What if she jumped? And I'm just like, ugh! Like, I've read it. I love it. I love this entire series. She's writing one more in it, and it's an Ariadne retelling. And I cannot wait. It's something about revenge. I can't remember what it's called. Something about revenge. Hamish is done waiting for me. He's getting comfy again. And it's going to be purple. So we've got a bright pink one, bright blue one, bright green one, bright purple. So looking forward to it because she does amazing retellings. Yeah, but it is bedtime. Oh, hello. This is what happens when I have my hair up in a clip. It kind of goes a bit. I would love to have curly hair. Just like, if I had curly hair, I would be so happy. But it will not. Like, I had my hair up in a clip yesterday and it was worse than this because I had it up for longer and I've been doing like stuff in the library and stuff. And it was completely straight by the time I woke up. But yes, I'm going to go to bed and continue reading Red Side's story. I'm now 10% of the way in. So actually, in the book wise, I'm only this far in. So I'm going to stick a, what is it, 36 pages in. I'll stick a wee bookmark in there. But yes, I'm going to go up to bed and read a little bit more of this. Hopefully I can get it finished because I've also got 1, 2, 3, 4 more books to read, at least. So I'm going to have to get a wriggle on with that. Anyhow, I will speak to you tomorrow. Hamish and I are going to go to bed. Hello, it is Saturday evening, nighttime, bedtime, obviously. We're just not going to talk about my fringe. I feel like I've done nothing all day. I really feel like I've done nothing all day, but I've done like several loads of washing. Like several loads. I didn't do the washing last week, so it's all built up to this week. So yeah, I've got loads of washing. I've still got 2 more loads. 1 in the dryer, and then 2 to go in for wash. And one of them is Hamish's stuff, so we can wash it with the new pods and hope that he's not allergic to those. So that his allergies doesn't crop up again. Yeah, so all I've done all day is watch YouTube and wash clothes, and my mum came to visit for a little bit. And yeah, that's about it. That's a lie. I have read more of Red Side Story. My goodness. I'm now over 100. I think I've read like 100 pages ish. I'm now 36% of the way into it, and there's been some reveals. I don't know if reveal is the right word. Some clarification on some things that I had questions about, because obviously you don't get told everything. So this, like I say, this world is so weird. Like, it's one of those ones where I don't know if it's a fantasy or if it's a sci-fi, where the line is. like I don't know. So yeah, there's been some things that I've been like, oh, okay, so that's what that is, and like dropping some breadcrumbs. I don't know if there's going to be more in the series. I sincerely hope it's only a duology, because this book took ages to come out after the first one. I read the first one in like 2019, and it'd been out for a wee while then. So according to Alexa, I've just asked her, the first book came out in 2009. This book came out in 2023, 4. That's a long time to wait for a book. This is some like George R. R. Martin-ish here. He has been writing other books. Like there's a series, you'll recognise the covers. They all have like a car on the front of them, like an old style Beetle type car, like an old one. And he's been writing those, coming out with a few of those, but this is the second one in the series. I really hope it's just a duology. I really hope it's just a duology, because I don't know if I have it in me to wait that long for another one. But yeah, this is so weird. It is so abstract. I don't know if this is just like, to be fair, even the friend that recommended this to me said it was weird, and she reads weird books to me. So yeah, this is a weird one, but I'm really enjoying it. It's so funny, some of the things they say, and then the way they speak is really unusual as well. Like, it's not how anybody would speak in real life, because it's like at least 700 years, I think, in the future, something like that. Because it's set in like a dystopian future, utopian dystopian future type thing. So like, yeah, it's they talk funny, using words that they don't necessarily need to use, or using words in a way that we wouldn't use them, or saying things that have obviously been misheard and repeated in a way that they change. Like, I can't even remember, Greys and Dolls instead of Guys and Dolls was one of them. And there's other words as well where like they'll say words and I'm like, oh, that's like a toddler hearing the word and trying to say it for the first time. That kind of like mishearing, and like you work out, you can understand what they're trying to say, or what they're saying how we would say it, but they don't understand what it is because it's from the before time. And so like a lot of things from the before there's something that happened is what it's called. There's something that happened, and before that everything's kind of like banned. Like the knowledge is banned. They're not allowed to know what happened. Nobody knows, and they're kept in ignorance. So words that do come through don't come through how we would say them. So it is interesting. But it sounds like, you know, when a child learns a word but they can't quite get their mouth around it, and so they say something that sounds close enough but you know it's not right. That's what it's like. And I'm really enjoying it, but I don't know if I could wait that long for a third book. It is that weird. Like, I literally read this, like, I think in 2019. Actually, it might have been 2018. 2018 or 2019, I read this book. I got it for a Secret Santa. And Secret Santa, I knew it was Fee because she was the one that recommended me the book. And I still remember enough that I went straight into this book. That's how weird it was, that it's stuck in my memory. Although my friends will say that I can remember books to a degree that is unusual. But I usually have to get back into, like, I have to be starting to talk about it, like, trigger some kind of memory to appear. I don't know. I'm just talking. Anyway, I'm going to go. I also didn't go to the gym. I'm so sore. I'm in so much pain. I ordered my painkillers a week ago, and I've not had a message from the pharmacy, which is unusual. So on Monday, I only have enough medication to get me through Monday. Tuesday, I will be cold turkey, which is not good. So I will need to contact the pharmacy on Monday if I don't get a text, and ask them what's going on. And I'm already like formulating arguments in my head to have with the GP surgery, because I saw on the news that there's shortages of medication that I need, and I feel like when I speak to the GP surgery, like I'm going to speak to the pharmacy are going to say, oh, we've not had anything from the GP. The GP is then going to say, oh, well, there's a shortage of the medication, so you have to try and take it less because we can't dispense it as much. And I'm going to be like, and whose responsibility is that to tell me? Because I am not a mind reader. Like, yes, it's not in the news, I'm not going to tell them that. If they cannot dispense my medication for some reason, it is their responsibility to tell me. They can't just ignore me. They can't just not get back to me. Like, they've done it before where the medication won't be at the pharmacy. I phone the GP surgery and they go, oh yeah, it's too early to dispense it, or like something, like they'll say something like, oh, we can't do that for this reason. And I'm like, okay. And when I ordered it a week or 2 weeks ago, at what point were you going to tell me that? Now I've run out, and the pharmacy have a thing up saying, or the pharmacy did have a thing up saying, to give them 10 working days to get medication. So I order things 2 weeks in advance, or like slightly longer than 2 weeks in advance, just a couple of days or so that it can go through the GP surgery and then go down to the pharmacy. So maybe take a couple of days or so to do that, depending on how much workload they've got. And then the pharmacy need the 10 working days. And my GP surgery is like, oh, you can't order it 2 weeks early. And I'm like, well, the pharmacy have asked us to. And they got so many calls from people saying they needed the medication done 2 weeks early that they finally contacted the pharmacy, and the pharmacy were like, yeah, we need 2 weeks to do it. So great communication there, guys. Great communication. But 2 weeks isn't, like, I did the job of a GP receptionist. Like, 2 weeks was not too early to order medication, because you know it can take some time. Even if you order it 2 weeks in 2 weeks in advance, right? You've got maybe 1 day, 2 days that it takes to get the prescription signed off by a doctor. You then have to send it to the pharmacy, who may pick it up on that day, may pick it up the next day. There's potentially 4 days gone. And then they have to make up the thing, so you get put into a queue. Some of them, like mine, send it off to a central, place to do it, and they get it sent back, which could take 2 or 3 days. So now we're up to a week. But then they have to factor in this working days. So I had 2 more days for the weekend. So that's 9 days. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then you have 5 days left of your medication by the time you get your medication. That is not too early. Oh, they stress me out. But I don't, like I say, I don't know why I've not heard from the thingy. And if I can't get my medication, we then need to, the GP are then responsible for alternatives. I don't know. We'll find out. I will already know by the time you're seeing this, so hopefully it's solved by then. I don't even know. But I'm going to go read, and I'll speak to you later. Hello. It is Sunday, and I have actually done quite a lot of reading today. I don't remember where it was. I think it was 133-ish pages into this the last time I updated the vlog. Which is here, and I'm now here. I have 20 pages left, and you must be thinking, why did you stop 20 pages from the end to speak to us? Well, because today has been a day. Today has been a day. As you can see, I'm showered, which is very lucky, and I'll tell you why. So, I've not had any painkillers today. I'm scared that they won't have been done, and I'm trying to ration them. So I had my morning painkillers, and then I've not had anything else, so I'm feeling rough. My knee is visibly giving off inflammation at this point. I swear there's a red glow around it. I just feel horrendous. I was giving up. But I got up in the morning to come down and pee, and decided to put the washing machine on. And then went back upstairs, and then I was like, I'm kind of awake now. So I did all my sort of morning stuff upstairs, like normally I watch. Update myself on some TikToks, update on Snapchat, update on things like my Instagram stories, etc, etc. And so I just did that in bed rather than doing it downstairs. And then I got up and came downstairs, made myself a cup of tea, sat down, changed my mind about not having anything to eat, got up, went into the kitchen and stood in water, and I was like, Did Hamish pee? Look down. Nope, there's just water running from the washing machine. But thankfully it looks like it was coming out of, there was debris in like the seal, and it had just opened it enough to dribble loads of water out, and it just collected as it had continued to dribble. We had, like, Kay checked it when she got home, it seems to be fine. But a little while ago, so I went in the shower, and then Kate was cleaning the kitchen, cooking tea, and she had put another wash on, put the dishwasher on, and then I asked her, I was like, could you please make me a cup of tea? Because I just feel rough. I don't often ask her to make me tea, and I usually get up and do it myself. So she started the tap so that she could wash my cup that I'd been using today, so that she could make me tea, and nothing came out. No water came out. So I picked up my phone and checked the Scottish Water, and sure enough, burst water main. So it's like the universe was like, I can help you with the washing machine issue, and then turned off the water, which is great, because then the washing machine was making this horrendous noise, and I was just like the penny dropped, and I was like, turn off the machine. Just like it's trying to draw water in and it can't. That's why it's making that noise. So I had to turn off all the machines. And luckily, I'd already had my shower. And how close it was, I was still in my towel. That's how close it was. In fact, that shower had stopped. With shampoo in my hair or something. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. So yeah, I thought I'd stop and tell you about that. Kay's away to Tesco now just to get some water and hopefully some snacks and Red Bull. Because I really want snacks and Red Bull. I have, I think, 2 chapters left. 2 chapters left of this book. So I will let you know how I got on. Okay, I finished the book. Obviously, I only had 20 pages left. Obviously, I was going to finish the book. And I fear there's going to be another book. I mean, it could leave off there. It's very similar to The Wall in that sense, if it leaves off here. But, if not, there's going to be at least another book. And, who knows how long that'll be. The problem is, he's a fairly prolific writer. The series that I was talking about before is the Thursday Next series. And those are The Air Affair, Lost in a Good Book, The Well of Lost Plots, Something Rotten, First Among the Sequels, One of Our Thursdays is Missing, The Woman Who Died a Lot, Dark Reading Matter. So that's one series. He's got 2 standalones, 2 of these books, and another 2 series, a nursery crime series, The Big Over Easy and The Fourth Bear. I don't know if it's nursery. I can't remember which nursery is plants and which one's children. So it's nursery with an E, if anybody knows. And then there's a young adult series as well. So yeah, he does write a lot, but these books seem to these ones are the ones that seem to take a lot of time. I love this series. Like, when I first read Shades of Grey, I was like, no, that's too weird for me. It's just, I can't get my head around it. But I've never been able to stop thinking about it. Like I said, I read it in, at latest, 2019. It's like 2018, 2019 is when I read that book. And now, obviously, I've read the sequel. I'll need to get I don't want to get the matching one because I've already got the original cover for Shades of Grey. But after reading this, I just love it. Like, I'm so intrigued by the world. I found one of the examples that I was talking about where they say words that are words like our words but not our words, but you can understand what they're saying. So they're talking about this sea creature that is dangerous in the open ocean, and it's called the undertoad. And it grabs your legs and pulls you under. The undertoad. Undertow. If that wasn't obvious. So yeah, like things like that. I really enjoyed it. This is really, really got an interest in. Like, yeah, I would like to know what's going on in this guy's head, because this series is so complex and so, like, there's so much going on. It's so confusing. It might just be I'm stupid, to be fair. But the way he uses colour and class and yeah, it's just so interesting. I really enjoyed this. I cannot wait for the third one, but I fear I may have to wait until I'm in my 40s or 50s at this rate. I did also start Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope. I am going to finish the vlog off here, but just so you know, I have started this. I am 4 chapters in, I am 20 pages in, roughly, and so far I'm enjoying the writing style. It's very cinematic, like I can almost see, not that I can visualise it, but I can imagine the transfer to a script, if that makes sense. Like I could see how it would translate well onto TV or film, if that makes sense. Like there's something about the writing style that is given like those like small town movies, like one of the ones that popped in my head was the Hannah Montana movie, because that's one of the ones I've seen. I'm imagining there's this actress who I'm imagining as the main character, who's got like curly blonde hair. It's I don't know if it's Ali or AJ from Ali and AJ, but when she had like the almost corkscrew curly hair, the one that was in iZombie. That's who is she in iZombie? She's either in iZombie or Supergirl. The sisters I always get mixed up, like, the friend in iZombie and the sister in Supergirl I always get mixed up, but I think it's the girl from iZombie. And she is one half of Ali and AJ, but when she had the long blonde hair with the curls and she's got like the beauty mark, that's how I imagine is the main character. This is like down south in America, in Kentucky, like in a small town. There's already been a bar fight. The girls have already been in a bar fight. For good reason. She would get on with Willa from Heartless. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Do not mess. Like, Willa would be like right in there with her. Fighting. Yeah, so far I'm really enjoying this. I don't know how I feel about I'm always a bit funny about the brother's best friend thing, because it's kind of along those same lines as why I'm not the biggest fan of the friends to lovers thing. Like, they've known each other since they were children, and only now they're like, well, only now he's like, oh, actually, she's interested as like a woman, and I'm like, how did you not see that before? Like, what? Her personality's not really changed. Like, she's still the same person. Like, I don't understand it. I understand it happens. Like, I know people who, and I understand like friendship is a great basis for a relationship. I will never say it's not. Like, the friends to lovers, from the sense of like a friendship base becoming a relationship, is a great start to a relationship. But the childhood friends to lovers, that's where I get a bit, and like, best friend, because he's already talking about like, I need to remember she's my best friend's sister and she's off limits. She's a whole ass grown woman. She can make her own decisions. That annoys me. But like I said, 20 pages in, hopefully this will. It also reminds me of, is it That One Night by Tessa Bailey? The one where, or this time next year, same time next year? It's an ebook. I'm sure it's an ebook only short story that she did at New Year, where it's like a hockey team or something, and one of them needs citizenship, and I've got it on my Kindle. One of them needs citizenship, and so the sister of one of the players ends up agreeing to marry him, but they both are like totally in love with each other anyway. So like there's a bit of like a kind of moment with it where she's like, okay, can't let her know, and he's like, can't let her know. Like, and obviously they end up falling for each other, and they were only meant to be married for the year, which is why same time next year, I'm pretty sure, is what it's called. But that's what the feeling it's given me. That sort of small town bar, feeling Stephanie Archer-esque. Obviously Elsie Silver, but Elsie Silver is, it feels slightly different to Elsie Silver, but in the same vein, if that makes any sense. Anywho, I'm so glad I finished this. I've only got these books now. Oh my goodness, these books now left on my TBR. It's a nice little pinky purple thing going. So I've got Hold the Reins by Paisley Hope, which is 362 pages, and then I've Hang the Moon, which is, look at this like nonsense, and then which is 364, so only 2 pages longer. And then Dating on Other Theories, which is 372 pages. And then Our Wives Under the Sea, which is 240, 230 pages. I've got that down as 240. I need to change that on my spreadsheet. It's 230 or 229. Is that last one? And not on the text. Yeah, so 229 pages. I think I've overestimated this. So I need to get reading because I've got 6 days now to read these 4 books. I'm just going to not, but this, I just keep tagging on to things in the hope that I'll be able to pick it up. But yes, these are the 4 that I need to read. So wish me luck and we'll see you next week if I manage it. Right, I'm off. This is the end of the vlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to let me know you were here but you don't want to sit and write your comment, if you want to give me some sort of colour emoji, main character in this is a red, and the other main character is a grey or a green. Makes sense if you've read them. But any colour will do. Just pop a colour in the comments. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!